The small town was quiet in the early morning, wrapped in a soft golden light. Shops were just beginning to open, and the smell of fresh bread drifted through the narrow streets. A father and his young son walked side by side, their steps slow and unhurried. The boy held his father's hand tightly, his eyes full of questions about the world he was just beginning to understand. The father was a simple man, known in the town for his honesty and calm nature. He worked hard every day, not to become rich, but to live with dignity. His son, Daniel, was curious and sharp-minded. He often asked questions that made adults pause and think. That morning, as they passed a busy marketplace, Daniel noticed people arguing loudly over prices, coins clinking, and faces filled with worry and desire. "Father," Daniel asked softly, "why do people fight so much over money?" The father smiled gently and stopped walking. He looked around at the people rushing past them, each carrying invisible burdens. "Because many believe money decides their value," he replied. Daniel frowned. "Does it?" Instead of answering directly, the father reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, smooth stone. He placed it in Daniel's hand. "Hold this," he said. "Today, we are going to learn something important." They walked to the edge of the marketplace where a group of traders gathered. The father approached the first trader, a man selling fruits. "Sir," the father said politely, "how much would you pay for this stone?" The trader glanced at it and laughed. It's worthless. I wouldn't pay anything for it." They thanked him and moved on. Daniel looked at the stone and then at his father, confused but silent. Next, they approached a metal dealer. The father asked the same question. The man examined the stone briefly and shrugged. "It's just a common rock. Maybe I'd give a single coin for it, just for fun." The father nodded and led Daniel away. As they walked, Daniel's confusion grew. "Father, why are we asking people about a stone? It's clearly not worth much." The father did not answer. Instead, they continued their journey, leaving the noisy marketplace behind. After some time, they reached a quiet area where a few scholars and collectors lived. One elderly man sat outside his home, carefully polishing gemstones. The father greeted him respectfully and held out the stone. "Sir," he asked, "what would you offer for this?" The old man's eyes widened as he examined the stone closely. His hands trembled slightly. "This," he said slowly, "is not an ordinary stone. It is rare. I would pay a large sum for it, more than most people earn in years." Daniel's mouth fell open. He stared at the stone, unable to believe what he was hearing. They thanked the old man and walked away in silence. Finally, Daniel could no longer hold his questions. "Father,"